The multi-mission V-22 adds another skill to its resume as a pre-search and rescue aircraft. Plus, the small antenna solution providing big protection for UAVs. And Navair pushes into the future of naval aviation with a historic landing at sea. Welcome to this edition of Airwaves. I'm Michael Lauren Prue. The X-47 Bravo wrapped up its sea test period with a historic landing aboard USS George H.W. Bush. The unmanned aircraft completed a 35-minute flight from NAS Patuxent River that ended with its first ever arrested landing aboard a modern-day aircraft carrier. Shortly after the initial landing, the aircraft was launched off the ship using the carrier's catapult, then made a second arrested landing. The demonstration was the final part of 3 at-sea test periods for the X-47 Bravo. Over the past 8 months, the unmanned aircraft performed tests aboard USS Harry S. Truman and the Bush and conducted several shore-based arrested landings at NAS Patuxent River. You can learn more about the history of the X-47 Bravo by visiting our website at www.navair.navy.mil/news. Moving supplies on and off a ship at sea can be difficult, especially from the air. That's why it's important for engineers to test and qualify containers used for vertical replenishment. During recent tests at Webster Field in St. Inigos, Maryland, engineers determined the safest speed and load capacity for 2 containers that will be used by the fleet. If a load is not balanced, it can spin out of control, creating a dangerous situation for everyone involved.
Tests like this is important so that you give the pilots a baseline as far as an envelope that they can fly. So what we're going to do in testing is we're going to build up in increments of 10 knots and hopefully get up to 65 knots for forward flight. And we're also going to do some low-speed maneuvering as far as turn spins and then in and out of ground hover effects.
The final test was performed using empty containers. Removing a container from the ship after it has been unloaded can often be the most difficult part of the vertical replenishment process. Congratulations to the winners of this year's Navair Commanders National Awards. Navair employees across the country were honored for their contributions to naval aviation excellence. The awards recognize team efforts in support of Navair's 3 focus areas: increased speed to the fleet, the delivery of integrated and interoperable warfighting capabilities, and improved affordability.
It's always important to recognize the accomplishments of individuals and organization, and I think it's especially important in a time when there's turmoil and there's budgets coming down and uncertainty with furlough. This is the time that we really need to take the time and show the extraordinary efforts of extraordinary people.
You can see a full list of all the award winners by visiting the Navair news page. Responding to an urgent need request from the fleet, cargo teams at NAS Patuxent River proved V-22's capabilities as a pre-search and rescue aircraft. During the test, life rafts were deployed from a V-22 aircraft hovering 150 feet above the water. The rafts were dropped at varying speeds to ensure suitability in a variety of test conditions. The V-22 is faster and has a greater range capability than current search and rescue aircraft and can be used to deliver supplies and equipment to survivors ahead of SAR's arrival.
We were looking for the rafts to be dropped and for no damage after the drop and for them to be operational. It gives it another capability that it doesn't currently have. It extends its mission set. It makes it even more valuable to the fleet.
Following successful testing, the Navy plans to roll out this new capability to the fleet in the fall. A smaller GPS anti-jam system aims to give unmanned air vehicles better protection in flight. The Small Antenna System, or SAS, facilitates the use of GPS by an aerial vehicle operating in an environment where there is jamming or interference. SAS is similar to GPS anti-jam units currently used on larger manned aircraft, but it has been compressed to meet the weight, size, and power limitations of these small UAVs. Engineers with the Communication and GPS Navigation Program Office recently tested the system's capabilities by mounting it to Aerostar and subjecting it to jamming signals inside an anechoic chamber.
If we go into enemy territory where there's jammers, they're trying to knock the UAV off course. They're trying to cause the UAV to not be able to relay the ISR content, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, video content back to the ground control station. The UAV could crash. The UAV wouldn't be able to sync with the other nodes on the network, in the airspace, the ships, the submarines, the satellites. It can disrupt our communications.
By testing inside the anechoic chamber, engineers can fully test the system's capabilities without impacting the GPS signals of other aircraft operating nearby. To see how GPS anti-jam units have been modified to fit other aircraft, check out the full story on the Navair news page and follow the video link. And that's it for this edition of Airwaves. See you on the flight line.